think so too. And I think it really helps if you are stuck in an emotion, for instance, to sort of expand out and tell yourself, I'm so much more than this emotion right now. And it's so easy to identify with, I am sad, or I feel like this, or I feel jealous, and you're just consumed in that emotion. And when you expand out and remind yourself, I'm not just this, I'm experiencing this emotion in a split second of a time, maybe, or a longer period of time, maybe some minutes, but I'm just so much more. I'm just beyond so much more than this. And when I think about that, then I can sort of zoom out, and then I can feel that, my gosh, my soul is huge. And I'm just experiencing this, and it could be like a cloud that passes by. And I think that's what we're moving more and more into. However, I do think that we are facing many more of our shadows now and our traumas that are really coming up now to be released. And it feels like you're experiencing that too with your clients, that they're sort of meeting so many aspects of themselves, even now, also from past lives and even future lives and other incarnations on other planets. Could you share a little bit about your experiences with your clients? Because that's something you wanted to express and help us navigate through encountering all these different parts of self.
Yeah. So we are so lucky and fortunate to be living in this time because we are the code breakers. We are the unlockers of so many, I don't even think that's a word, but I just made it up, of so many things that have come before us. So generational trauma is coming up a lot more, meaning, what's a good example from a client? Someone who has a tricky relationship maybe with their father. Well, maybe throughout time, her father had a tricky relationship with his father, who had a tricky relationship with his father, and it just goes back, and the aspects of the relationships may be different, but the weight of the authority figure or the father figure is just a theme running through that family. So it can run through a biological family, it can also run through a soul group family. And so we're experiencing those often in two different ways. But if I'm just here having an experience and I don't know how to tune into that, like you said, it's just I'm having that experience of having a difficult time with my father right now. When we can not just have the perspective that you so beautifully said about I'm experiencing this emotion, I'm not this emotion, but then expand out into say, my soul may be witnessing this and holding this energy because others before me, whether that's biological family or soul group family, others couldn't quite solve it in their time frame. And that's not disparaging them. That's not to put them down. It is always also dependent on the collective energetic. So we're at this time right now. That's why we're the code breakers and the healers, because the collective energy is supporting moving through things. So yes, all the emotions are coming up, all the chaos is coming up because it's for us to witness, to love, and to heal all those different aspects of ourselves. But we're feeling it in an amplified manner often because it's been passed down from these different soul lines or these different biological lines. And so it's kind of like my team just showed me going to a buffet and you start with an empty plate and you put one thing on your plate. By the end of the buffet, you have like a pile of food on your plate. We're at the end of that buffet where so many different emotions or traumas or challenging scenarios have been passed on to us. And so now it's here for us to work on in that way. And I think I'm hearing those stories more and more frequently that people are having this different ability to tune into those emotions for themselves and healing it. So if we think of our lives, not necessarily, even though we use the word past life, if we think of it being parallel and they're all happening at the same time, as we heal something here, it ripples out into those other timelines as well. So we're healing it for ourselves and we're healing it for our ancestors, whether again that's biological or soul family, which then almost comes back in like this torus field of energy into this timeline to add more healing, more love, more acceptance, more gratitude. So it's this kind of self-fulfilling system that keeps refilling itself with this beautiful energy of growth and healing. And it's really powerful. And I say that from both sides. It's powerful in our ability to move through it now, but it's also powerful in the way we're feeling it. There are a lot of people that are feeling really heavy about things because it isn't just yours. It's not just your sadness. You may be feeling the collective sadness as well, but you may also be feeling sadness from generations before you. And so things, as the kids today would say, things hit differently. They just feel sometimes harder to move through, or they take longer to move through things. But the work in returning to yourself and loving and forgiving and all of those things makes it so worth it to move through it like that. So I hope that answered the question in what we're talking about.
Yeah, that in a sense, the rewards are greater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And speaking of the multidimensional self, is that something you've experienced in your own life, this incarnation? Other selves of Heather? I mean, it wouldn't be Heather, but I
Yeah.
know you've so connected to so many guides, but have you also experienced other selves?
Accidentally, yes. So and it kind of surprised me, and it was I'm gonna say it was uncomfortable that I did. So it's not something I do lightly now that I it's kind of like I accidentally witnessed it and now I can access it if I choose to, but I don't do it lightly because it's a bit strange for me. It feels odd and not fun. But I was in a meditation one time and connected into, again, accidentally, a future timeline where I saw exactly what was going to happen, a couple of different ways. One was related to the passing of my father, who was not sick at the time, and there was nothing on the radar about that happening. But I almost like if you travel in the car and take a nap and you wake up and you don't remember where or you don't know where you are. Hopefully you're not driving the car, you're a passenger in the car, but it was that feeling of this isn't this isn't my reality. Wait, this is different. This isn't my reality. So I have jumped that way on a like a parallel timeline. It was a little bit
Hmm.
future, but it's still this lifetime as me. So I consider that multidimensional in a way because it hadn't happened yet. So it was like traveling a little bit astral projecting into that. But then also in that same it's a doozy of a meditation. In that same meditation, I felt this energy almost like going up an elevator, and I was able to see the multiple versions of me on multiple timelines that looked like this version of me. So in an aspect of, yes, it was Heather, but it was this version of me having different experiences in different realities. And then the elevator went up beyond that and it was like oversoul Heather or different aspects of me, and I saw different it's like if you were looking down all these different hallways, I saw different paths and knew that okay, that's a different aspect of me having a lifetime over there, and if I wanted to I could walk down and kind of take a peek at that. And I feel like I went down a few of them and then it's like no, I'm good. Like that's a lot to take on, and I felt energetically that it was draining, like I don't say draining my life force. That's dramatic, but it would have taken a lot for me to sustain that and stay in that kind of visitation or meditation. So that's one of the ways that I've been able to witness that. And now when I do work with people to connect with their past lives, that's one of the methods that I use to help them travel to see different things and then also connect in with parallel lives, multidimensional lives. And I gotta say, so many amazing conversations about people doing fun stuff at Stargates and, in Arcturus and Pleiades and Andromeda. And there are so many of us here at this time that are multitasking as souls and we're doing so many other things. It's glorious. It's so much fun.
And Is it healthy in a way? Couldn't we be totally confused about who we are when we're tapping into all these kinds of versions of ourselves and multidimensionality?
Yeah, I think it could be disorienting, definitely. Another thing that I would see as a risk for it is, what if I connect into a lifetime that looks a lot better than this one? And then I just want to go in my mind and spend all my time there. And I don't really want to be present where I am here. And then it in some people can be a little bit of an obsession to like go out. Oh, I need to know my past life from the Renaissance because I think I had a better time there than I'm having here. And so we start removing our energy from the lifetime we're supposed to be focusing on. So it requires a balance of an interest in it or a curiosity in it, but not going so far into it that you feel distracted. And then the ability to say, and I love that the word multitasking came out because it feels like that. Like, we all know what multitasking is. We do it all the time. We're cooking dinner, we're reading or we're listening to an audiobook, we're texting friends, we're doing things at the same time. If we just understand that we're also having these lifetimes at the same time, I don't need to know the details of them. I just need to feel the authenticity of, okay, Heather on another timeline is doing that. That's great. You go, girl. Like, go for it. Have a good time. And I've also walked with people and had experiences myself where, especially around comings and goings of relationships. So, starting a relationship or a breakup with a relationship, seeing the multidimensionality of that, meaning this person came into my life for this reason because we had this past life connection that we didn't quite we didn't finish the argument over here in the 1400s, so we had to come have it here in the 2000s. But feeling that connection can help people move through, not that we still don't grieve the loss of separation and death and relationships, but it gives you a different, like you were saying about, I'm experiencing the emotion instead of I am the emotion. It gives us that multidimensional ability to say that's what my soul is going through, and I'm keeping an eye on that, but I'm also going to stay focused on this lifetime and see what comes up as the next lesson. So I think there is a danger in getting too tuned in, like to all those things, that we lose our focus here. So it takes trust as well to navigate that and say, I know that my soul has it, my higher self has it, it's all under control, but I just want to peek in a little bit and get a piece of wisdom and then come back to this because this is where my central focus is for this particular lifetime.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.